of DC Legends has taken a bit of a turn at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
So what's next week for us? It's coming up.
Well, we're gonna pick up directly where we left off with that cliffhanger, which I thought was pretty cool, and definitely makes you wonder, ooh, what's gonna happen? And obviously, I don't want to spoil what's gonna happen, but we're gonna. It's not gonna be an easy thing. Like it's not like they kick Kronos off the Wave Rider and they're back and everything's a piece of cake. But so there'll be consequences as a result of the cliffhanger. Big consequences that will reverberate through the rest of the season.
And you stuck such a diverse group of people back in 1958.
Right? That was fun. That was a lot of fun, and for good reason. Like we really chose Sarah and Kendra and Ray for a very specific set of reasons that play out in that episode 9. Oh, good. Good question. Well, we've got a few interesting things. I would say quite a bit of development with the Ray-Kendra relationship. That's going to take some interesting ups and downs and twists and turns. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but we're really going to be exploring that. Some very interesting stuff for Jax. We've hinted at what happened with his dad and how his father had died when before he was born, and we're going to explore sort of what that means and what his backstory is, and we're also going to get a chance to meet his mom. So that'll be a great deal of fun. We've got some very interesting developments for the fans of the Captain Canary relationship. Snart and Sarah. I don't want to spoil anything, but there'll be some fun stuff coming up with that. Who haven't I covered? I would say there's quite a bit of development with the Rip Savage relationship as well. Relationship in very loose quotes. Try not to spoil anything.
As far as Rory's character, Rory and Snart obviously had a falling out, so but we didn't really see what exactly happens to Rory. Would that be expanded on the rest of the season?
Yes, we are actually going to flashback at some point to the events of episode 7. Like we will flash back to those moments and then continue on that scene, so you'll fully see what actually happened.
In the writing room, I mean, obviously you guys are jumping all over different time periods. I mean, set design, this and that, costuming. What is your inspiration for all these different time jumps in those specific time eras?
Sometimes it's story. Other times it's what we think we can achieve. For example, in episode 11, we go to the Old West because we knew that there was an Old West town that we could go into and redress and sort of spruce up. We've stayed away from, let's say, ancient Rome because we don't know how to do ancient Rome in Vancouver right now without relying on a ton of visual effects. So some of it's, story and character, and some of it's just practical of, we're trying to pick the spots that we know we can pull off, and do well. But obviously, now that we're going into our second season, we're going to have to keep refining that. And we might see ourselves in ancient Rome because we'll be, sort of at the point where we've got a good story reason to go to ancient Rome. But it's feeling, it's just feeling our way through. And like you alluded to, we have an amazing crew. And every time we go to a different time period, which is every episode, we end up having to reinvent the show from a production standpoint. And brand new costumes have to be come up with, set design, particularly when we go to time periods like the future. We're going to go to 2 time periods of the future, 2 versions of the future that we haven't been to yet, and that requires a complete reconceptualization every time we do it because there's no research to do. Obviously we can't, it's not like when we go to the Old West or go to the 1970s or go to 1958 where we can actually research, Vicky Mulholland, our costume designer for the future, had to come up with a completely new wardrobe, which you'll get a peek at later on today at the sizzle reel.
Do you have any dream time periods, budget be damned?
Oh, good question. Really good question. I keep saying ancient Rome. Probably ancient Rome would be a lot of fun. Budget be damned. I would love to explore New York in the 1920s. I think that would be a great deal of fun, and I think we would actually pull that off really well. But and I'd love also to get out of, sort of North America and not just go to, play, fictional countries in Europe, but go to real countries in Europe. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Time for this will have to be the last question.
I don't know if it wasn't a surprise to me that they did have chemistry, because when you cast great actors, there's going to be some amount of chemistry. What was a surprise to me is the different pairings that sort of developed organically from that chemistry. That's the surprise. Like we didn't know that like Sarah and Snart were gonna be so great together on the screen. We didn't know necessarily that Sierra and Brandon would have chemistry. So it's not completely unexpected, but the way it was unexpected. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.